Hello. Hello, Exhale Breathe family. How are y'all doing today? I know it's the 4th of July weekend, hot celebration, and I'm hoping everybody's staying safe and happy and enjoying family, friends, loved ones. Come on in here. Come on, come on, come on. Little winded. Rushing around, of course, trying to get things done. Come on in. Well, let's get started. Um, Small recap from last week. Um, Remembering why I'm doing this. Remembering why I was chosen to be a vessel to help the broken, the alone, the abused, the afflicted. Um, Being used for the purpose that God has given me for his glory. All right, let's get it. Um, like I said, talked about remembering, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And, you know, um, I'm doing this because, again, it's a lot of people don't have an outlet, don't feel or believe that there's people out here that can relate. People talk all the time about um, their life, their struggles, and yet it can be the same story told by a different narrator. And it'll reach who it needs to reach. So, um, on this journey of healing, self discovery, purpose identifying, the goal is to remove the stigma, to announce that you're still here, that we're still here, we're still fighting a good fight. And no matter what trial and tribulations are thrown at some of us, it would never take us down because it's a part of our purpose. Um, Being able to go back down memory lane, especially the painful parts of memory lane, um, really gives you a sense of strength that you didn't know that you exuded, right? And so when you able to identify a lot of the things that you have pushed so far down that you literally, kind of forgot about it. But something in life keeps showing up and you're trying to figure out, why is that keep happening? Why do I keep going through this and that? And at some point, you really do have to um remind yourself or go down memory lane in order to figure out why certain things continue to show up and you continue to experience certain things and go through certain things. It'll force you down back down memory lane because some of it is so painful you don't want to deal with it, right? But not dealing with it creates something in you that can turn into a number of things, right? It can turn into uh, people pleasing. It can turn into self harm, self hatred, um, even abuse, um, if you're not careful, right? And so the things that I like to pat myself on the back for is like even with all the trauma and the abuse that I've suffered, not saying that I haven't harmed anybody um emotionally, if nothing else. Um Verbally I've been abusive. Um and it may have been a time or two that I've had to get rough, right? But then I be so broken afterwards. And especially if it's toward someone that I love. And I be so remorseful. I be so sorry for creating the trauma for that person. Because I've never wanted to be a person that harms other people in no kind of way. I've always wanted to help. But what I've been learning through this healing journey is that yes, if I'm gonna heal properly, then I need to be accountable for the things that I've done wrong. Right? I gotta call them out. I gotta call them out just like I'm calling out abusers that has abused me, manipulators, all the things, right? I gotta be accountable too. Whether it was conscious or unconscious, I have to be accountable for the harm that I've caused other people through what I know, how I was raised, what I'm used to, fight, flight, or isolate. That's what it's been for me. And so being able to recognize that I've caused harm to other people and some people, yeah, I've had to apologize to, and I have, and I'm big enough to apologize. I'm big enough to apologize. I'm big enough to ask for forgiveness. I done grew to that space of being able to say, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to hurt you or whatever the case is. That's how I know that I'm really healing and I'm growing in the midst of the healing. Um, I've been having to realize that because that's someone's personality, who they are, or just um what's the word I'm looking for? A defense mechanism. Because that's how I looked at it as well. When it becomes a defense mechanism, now you know you have to retrain that because it's harmful. Um, you never ever want to cause harm to people. Period. Whether intentional or unintentional. And for me, when I realized this very last time that I caused some harm, I was broken by that because I have caused somebody else to need some healing from my actions, my mouth, my thought process. And that becomes eye opening. Eye opening. Because now you get to see the things that you have internalized, the things that you have allowed to take root in you, whether it was consciously or not. It took root in you and causes you to regurgitate what's been done to you onto someone else. Never okay. Never okay. So, as you know, as I continue my healing, I pray that I'm continuing to be aware, that I'm continuously being purposeful, that I'm seeing myself and fixing the things that needs to be fixed and doing it deliberately. Like we gotta be conscious. We gotta be mindful. We got to pay attention to ourselves in order to get to the other side. This a daily, sometimes hourly work in progress. Like I'm genuinely learning that some days I gotta take it moment by moment, hour by hour, because it's so much to unpack and it's layers of it. It's so many layers to me, to the things that I've gone through. And like I said, just think about it. If I've been abused sexually, then I got to work that out. I got to identify my triggers. I got to identify, you know, how I behave, how I manage myself as a woman based off of that trauma. I got to be very mindful and careful of how I move, what I say, what I do. I got to be aware. Like I said, I've been physically abused, I'm this, like, I'm a fighter. So if I even get an inkling that you about to, I'm probably gonna go first. But I gotta be careful of that. I have to pay attention to my triggers. And a lot of times we don't want to do that. But we cannot continue to make excuses if we're not going to literally do the work. It takes work daily, consistently. And the biggest thing about it, it isn't easy. It's not. I'm not even going to portray like it's going to be easy, because it's not. I have a mouth on me, like, but I'm so used to being around people that talk however they want to talk, curse, do with, whatever. I was raised like that. I was raised around that. And I got I have to unlearn that. I have to unlearn that even if I am angry, it's still some things I don't need to say. I shouldn't say. No matter how mad I get. Self-awareness. We got to become more self-aware in holding ourselves accountable and being self-regulated to become the best version of ourselves as we can. It's just the process. The process is you. It's me. And as long as I stay in the process, I get better. I learn a new tool. I'm more aware of myself. And now it becomes, I'm spilling the goodness over onto others and not the toxicity over into others. Because I'm healing. We're healing together. And so as we continue to heal and grow, these are things that we have to take account of. We got to take account of it. We have to go back into the memory bank and and dig up some of that stuff that we done pressed down, and not knowing that is what's spewing out of our mouths, out of our actions, because we have buried the very things, but it's coming out one way or another. So why not you pull it up? You get to dictate how it affect your life and you, because it doesn't have to continue to cause harm, self-harm, or harm to others. We got to do the work, and it's a everyday job. Every day, especially for those that layers layers of abuse to unpack. Because a lot of times we think all abuse affected us the same when it doesn't. It doesn't. Abuse mess with so many things, and each abuse carry its own weight. So we cannot pretend like one thing didn't happen when we know it did. So deal with it all. Like they say, like an onion. You just got to keep peeling. You got to keep peeling until it's all peeled. And as you unpack every layer, my hope, my prayer is that you're growing, you're healing, you're releasing, and you're healthy, whole, and full of joy because we deserve it. But as long as we do the work, honestly do the work, we will be better for it. We will get through and we won't go through those things anymore, which is the blessing because we'll be able to identify it. We will be able to respond in a healthier way. We will be able to deal with things in a you'll take your time. You'll grow and you'll heal. Again, we're here trying to heal, grow, and become a better version of ourselves. And I am so grateful that I'm on this journey with you all, and that when it's all said and done, we can say we did the work and this the end product of the work that we have done. Healing is a daily journey. Sometimes it's easier than others. But if you stay consistent, you stay on the journey and you do the work, we'll get the payoff. We will get the payoff that we want, that we deserve, that we're needing. We'll get it. So, as I wrap up this good old Saturday afternoon, thank you all for coming in, watching. I ask again for you to please like, share, subscribe, comment. Even questions will work for me. Me helping you and you helping me is what this family unit is going to be about. Is about growing together, healing together, having someone to understand and walking you through is the journey that we're on together. Thank you all. I love you all. I hope and pray that you're healing and you're really doing the work to become the best version of yourself that you can be. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment, leave questions, and share with people. Invite people in. We healing over here, y'all. Talk to y'all next Saturday. Love you all. Bye for now.